Hey everybody, it's Amy Graham, the Badass Valkyrie, and I wanted to go ahead and do a really quick video, well, let's hope it's quick, to kind of close out 2018 and my little planner stack. So these are all the pre-printed planners that I used this year. These are the pockets that are currently either being used or set up to be used. So, I went through a lot, and I have some one-off planners like One Book July, a couple of other little side planners that I was using, and I actually cannot find a couple of them, so I'll have to do those in a separate video. But these are all the ones that I consistently use throughout the year. And so this is a Leuchtturm 1917. That was my bullet journal. These two are my Cousin Avec, the Hobonichi Cousin Avec, and so that is actually 1 year. So then I have my Jabun Techo, which was my media tracker, and I have the 2 Hobonichi weeks that I used, and I have the Hobonichi English planner and the weekly supplement. So let me just go through these really quickly. So with the English supplement, most of you, I've done several videos of this, and this is my Miracle Morning savers, just putting in what I've done and how I was feeling. Now through the year, I didn't start this until April, and so that's why the first of this is kind of blank. But this worked in conjunction with my Hobonichi Techo, and this started out, like I said in a previous video, as a gratitude journal, and then I changed it about April into what I was doing for my Miracle Morning, and so that was kind of hit and miss, but it was mostly done. This was several things. I used it for meal tracking. I used it for sales. Then towards the end of the year, I realized I wanted to use it for the Story of Us. And so I was putting in memory keeping and that kind of thing about my family, about my husband and our 3 pets. And then that led me to use Cocoa Daisy these standard inserts. So I have September, October, November, and then December is in here. And I'll do those in a separate video because those are separate things that I want to kind of go through, and I'm still not finished with them, but I'm hoping to finish those out over the next week. And then I'll do that and all of my pocket inserts that I've used. But this is all of my pre-printed planner stuff. This is my self-care weeks. And, I gotta remember to take that out. There we go. I pulled out almost everything that I had in the fronts and in the back. But this is my self-care weeks, and this was this last week, and so I closed that out yesterday, and the today and the rest of the week will be in my new one. But this was all about self-care. And this was my birthday week, and so December ended up I started using a lot of my stickers and stuff, and that will be going forward. A lot of my Once More with Love and Coffee Monster Co. stickers will be going into my self-care, just because I think it makes it a lot more fun, and it doesn't really bulk it out too much, as you can kind of see. You can see where I put washi tape and all of that. But I honestly did not use a lot of my pages in the back. Those were kind of hit and miss. Just because the way I set it up with the index and everything, it just didn't work the way I thought it would. But I have a different plan this year. And when I go through and walk through all of my setups for 2018 with you, for my new 2018 Mega Weeks, I'll show you the different kind of things how I'm doing it and how I'm going to be doing page threading and all of that, so that I can actually get through these. and not just skip around. So, but I tried putting in different things throughout the year, and I'm pretty much settled that I love this for self-care, and it works the best for me. And in here, I just kind of write down on the monthly view as to what kind of happened, just so I can have a monthly view of it. But I have not actually, I've got to order, Faye Creates, she did these little stickers for all of my Hobonichis for 2018. I've got to get those done. This did not work, so we're doing something different there. But and I'm going to be putting in my weeks, I'm actually going to be putting date nights in here for this tracker. But this was my self-care, and I really loved it, and it worked out great. This was my media tracker, and then I had ideas and notes and stuff like that. I would have carried this notebook forward, but I'm going to be using the A5 Slim, and this is the Jabun Techo. And this is how I set up my weekly plan. I use sticky notes, because that way, if I need to change it throughout the year, I can. Now, I didn't actually start this until, I think it was April. I think I got it in April or at the end of March. But using this for my tracker as far as media goes. And I note, I put in ideas about videos that I want to do, and when I put the videos in, and like Vlogmas was crazy, but putting in all of my videos when I post them, and then when I post a video, like when I posted this, I put in how many views, how many comments, and thumbs up or thumbs down the previous video had. So that's just been my so I kind of keep a track of the increases. But usually it was 2 videos a week, and so going back through here, and these are the Jabun Techo tabs, which I actually did not like. But in my 2019 setup, I actually use the Hobonichi tabs, and I love them. And I have all of my tabs in my Hobonichis alternated, so you don't get stuck with all of the same color. I actually get 3 sets: the blue, the green, and the orange. And then I just alternate them, and then I have 3 sets, and I use those for my books. But yeah, this worked out really well, and I am carrying it forward, and I'll be tracking a lot more in here. Yeah, I think it worked out really well, and I'm going to be tracking some of the beginning things, and I'll go through that when I go through that setup too. So anyway, so that was my 2018 Jabun Techo, my media tracker. And then these were my cousins. So the cousin Avec is broken up in from January to June and July to December. And these were my goals, which, you know, mostly, some of them got done, some of them didn't. But as you can see, sorry, I forgot to turn my phone off, but oh well. This is my ride or die planner. My cousin Avec is what I use constantly. And I use the weekly view, I use the monthly view, and I use the daily view. So that is January through June. And I've already pre-decorated the months in my 2019. And when I show you my new view, I will go through that, kind of like this video, but you know, a little bit slower. So that's January through June, and this is July through December. And most of it, I mean, in October I started journaling in my field notes, and so that's actually where a lot of my journaling goes, whereas I had been doing a little bit of journaling in here, but I found myself not writing a ton, but I journal quite a bit in my pocket, in my field notes, and it turns out that's where I really like to do it. I'll still put in things that happen during the day and major things like that here, but like my top 5 things that I need to get done. I have a smaller breakdown of just kind of general things, then my priority, my gratitude, and my word of the day, which will be converting to workout of the day for 2019. And then any money that I spent, I added this towards November and December just to kind of see what I was spending daily. But, and then I tried the clock thing, totally not working. Weather, hit and miss. But I like the weather in here more than I did in the weeks, so we will see how that goes. But I did like the wacky days of the month from Once More with Love, and I will be adding those back in this year, but I don't have January's yet, so I got to get that ordered this weekend. But so yeah, those are my dailies. And then then here starts my weeklies. And those, I was doing color blocking, and I really enjoy that, and I think that's going to carry forward. What's not going to carry forward is the water tracking here, because I'm doing that. I need to do that daily. And I wasn't paying attention here, so I'm not going to be adding those stickers. But the no spend stickers, I probably will. We'll see. I still need to get more of those too. But all of my to-do list, or my chores and all of that kind of thing here, worked out really well. And here I was adding stickers too. We'll see if that continues forward. I just kind of do it when I feel like it. But this is when I was not color blocking. I think I started that in September. Yeah, the beginning of September. And I just really liked how that looked. And it just worked out. I usually don't color block on the weekdays or on the weekends, but I do for my work week. And then it just kind of makes it stand out a little bit better. And then this got into my monthly. And so I put my monthly goals there. And in November, in October, and I was writing down my steps and my active minutes. That may go forward, we'll see. I may be doing that in a little different location, but we'll see. Still working that out. But and then June, this actually has June in it. So I just actually copied what was in my June here, because I like to finish out the month. So this is where the more active June was, the real June. But then I just copied this forward, just the general stuff, so that I had that moving forward as a reference. And that's what I will do too for December here, is this December will get copied. Just the general stuff, not the numbers and everything, but the general stuff will be moved forward into my December for 2019, just so I have it as a reference and I don't have to keep going back to this book. But as you can see, my year of stickers kind of, anytime I got something that I really liked for the year, I just added it, and to the back and to the front. And oh, I've got to take that out too. My Once More with Love. So, but my R Sport, my first. And then I did some notes here at the back. And then I had here, turning the page, where I did some future planning and my tries that I wanted to get done, and all of that. So, and then here, in here, I'm going to still do this. I thought I was going to do something different, but I loved how this actually ended up. And so I was able to just track big things like when we had a massage or a big event like Neil Gaiman, or when I was using vacation, that kind of thing. And then I actually closed out the month here at the bottom of each of the months, and I liked how that worked. And then for 2019, I'm going to be putting up my the top 3 goals that I'm working on for that month. So, and this one has all the way up until June of 2019. I don't have a lot in here yet, but there you have it. So this is my year in Hobonichi, and you could tell that my second half of the year got a little bit thicker than the previous one, because I had a few more stickers in this one, but mine don't get bulked out that much because I'm pretty minimalist with everything. But yeah, I like being able to go back and see how that held up. And then finally, my bullet journal for the year, and I was doing some brain dump for the final, for what I'm putting into my current bullet journal, which I'm still working on, which a lot of tomorrow will be spent actually filling out the journal itself. I know what I want to put in it, but it will be a much more minimalist bullet journal, back to Ryder Carroll's basics and following the bullet journal method pretty much very closely. This is when I had my Miracle Morning in my bullet journal, and then I moved it to the A6 Hobonichi. But there were a lot of things in here I really liked. There were a lot of things in here that I hated. Oh, this has been a good reminder. Never do this again, ever. So, however, with that being said, this for doodle challenges, not going to do that. I'm not going to do the word challenges, nothing like that in my bullet journal. If I decide to do a challenge, I will have a separate notebook, I think, to do that. But I don't foresee myself doing that. I mean, as I said before, I fell off the last few weeks doing that, and it was just because it wasn't doing anything for me. And it had no meaning to me. And so I would love to get better at lettering, but if I'm going to do a lettering challenge, I'm going to do it in a lettering book so that I can see my progression instead of cluttering up my bullet journal with that. So I will do any challenges in another notebook, and it'll just be a challenges notebook. But my bullet journal is just going to be a very basic journal. And my year in pixels, which I have the last few days, I need to still update. Just because this has been in a different location. Where is it? Yeah. So, but almost all of these, there are a couple of sick days left in here. But otherwise, it's been a good year. And I will be moving forward the year in pixels. And I will be doing the future log. I like this setup because I can put notes in for my days, but I may be looking at something a little bit different, but we're going to see. But I will still use the 2020 log, and I'm still going to use the Calendex, but it's going to be for movie date nights so that I can keep track of all my movies. But otherwise, I'm pretty proud. I thought that I would use up this bullet journal way before the end of the year, but I didn't. And I actually still had some pages here at the back. Not a whole lot, but some. And so I am pretty happy with that. And I'll be moving forward into my black stealth model version of the bullet journal from Leuchtturm that I got with Ryder Carroll's The Bullet Journal Method. And yeah, that is the recap of my 2018, sorry. And these are everything that I used that were pre-printed, and I loved it. And I'm very proud of myself getting through this much. The only thing that I bought that I did not end up using at all. I think both of these, I bought the July through December thinking I was going to use this for something, and I didn't. I think both of these had 1 page written on, but that's okay. I actually this one in December had some things written on it because I decided to use this for work and keep this in my Leather Imagined, but I already have the 2019 cut down and put in. And so when I go back to work on Wednesday, Tuesday the 2nd, no, Wednesday the 2nd, I will fill this out with what appointments I actually have and how far in I have them. And that will actually be for work. And then this is my bullet journal that I use on the go when I'm not using my rings, because that allows me to just write whatever. But yeah, these two got used very little. And I might actually go back and use this at the end of the year next year just for planning, and not because I could actually use this. I can't use the monthly, but if you notice, July 8th, you can't, because this is all in Japanese. This is the Hobonichi Techo. This doesn't have the day of the week. I mean, it does, but it's in Japanese, so I wouldn't know what it was anyway. So if you ignore that, and just pay attention to July 8th, you could actually journal on this. So I could use at any point in time for any year, and just mark out the 2018, because if I'm just looking and see, that was the 1 page. So, but there you have it. And so these are my pre-printed planners. Voila! And I am very happy to close these out. These will all get archived in a box. And, well, actually, no. These are actually going to go on a shelf. When you see me face to face, it's going to be on that shelf in that set of cubes, just because that way I can access these quickly. But what I've done is I've cleared the shelf that have my 2017s on them. And so that's all in a box, archived. And then, so this will just be my stack from 2018 that I can reference at any point in time. And you guys will see that in my videos. But it's mostly just so I can have it and go, oh, crap, I need to look something up. And I don't have to go through digging through boxes. I just know where it is. And then when I find the other couple of planners that I used, like the 5-second journal and the best self journal, I will put those with these as well. But I do want to go back through the 5-second journal so I can do a review on that as far as how far I got, because I almost finished that. But it was only like a 90-day journal, I believe. So, as is the self-care or the best self journals, which I may actually be using tandem just as a focus journal in 2019 when I'm getting closer to my next triathlon, but we're going to see. But anyway, so this is goodbye 2018. Again, this is my stack from 2018 that were used consistently throughout the entire year. And it makes me very happy to have this. So if you guys made it through an entire planner, let me know down below, because I would love to know, did you finish them out? Are you archiving them? Do you throw yours away? What do you do when you close out a year? Because this is, these are all going to get put on a shelf, and so that I have access to them. I am so excited to move on to 2019 and all my new books, but there is a part of me that will miss these because they have so many good memories in them, and my life is encompassed in this right here. So yeah, I've enjoyed this year, and I look forward to a fabulous 2019 and doing this all over again in 365 days. So I will talk to you guys next year. Bye.